Hey guys, it's your girl Amps, and I'm back with another episode of According to Amps. And of course, it is that time of the week where we talk about love and hip hop Atlanta. This is season 6. I can't remember what episode. Season 5, episode 5, episode 7, episode 6. I don't know. Carly Rae goes to meet up with Sierra at the glam shop. She heard from DJ M about all the drama that went on at Joseline's video shoot, and she wanted to go and check on Sierra and see how she was holding up. Sierra looked like she had was just told that this was about to happen, so she was like, I have to play sad. So she was like, I am really hurt. It hurt me to my core. All these surface ass emotions that she was giving while she was telling the story or whatever, which makes it hard to believe. It's like, not that I think that you should be breaking down every 2 seconds. It's just, it just looks like I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care what the fuck this is doing. I'm trying to get on the show so I can build the business for the glam shop. So Carly Rae basically tells her that, you know, keep it nice, keep it cute so you can figure out what you need to know from her. You know what I mean? And then after that, then slap her. But make sure you get the information first. So, that scene was boring. Waka, who is going on a little date with Charlie, who is really Tammy's daughter, but Waka claims her as his daughter as well. So they went to the roller rink and they're having a good time or whatever. And Waka's like picking Charlie's brain about what he can do to get Tammy back. Like, can he buy her something? Can he take her somewhere? You know, do something nice for her. And Charlie's like, I really miss you, and I really think that you guys should try to make it work. I really love Charlie. I think that she is a cutie. I really think that she is super, super, super adorable. Like, it is not normal these days on TV where you see little girls being little girls, you know. So she has, you know what I'm saying, her 11-year-old quirkiness. She's not dressed like a tiny businesswoman. Like, she's dressed like a little girl, and she's reacting to the situation like a little girl. And so it's just so nice to see. And she also tells Waka, she also tells Waka in so many words, Tammy ain't with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So you need to go ahead and make sure you do whatever it is that you need to do so you can get back and cool with my mama, and y'all can get back together. So next we cut to Tommie. Tommie is in a makeshift kitchen where they decided to rent out a portion of Lowe's to have this piece of the show conducted, and Tommie is in there cooking up on some crack, or her crack, which is wine. And it's so weird because a drunk is making drinks. Everybody seems to have the same theme or the same concern about Tommie, basically saying that she drinks too much and it's probably not a good venture for her to break into that is probably not a good idea for her to break into the alcohol business, being that she does struggle a little bit with alcohol. So while she's there, Karen King, KK, comes to meet up with her and is quickly concerned when she finds out what it is that Tommie is about to do. And she basically tells Tommie, you know, like, I think maybe you should probably try to get some help before, you know, as you start to embark on this journey, because there's no way in hell that you can drink as much alcohol as you do, but also want to sell alcohol. So that way it's going to be counterproductive for you, especially when you're getting high off your own supply, which is what we kept hearing this whole entire episode. And Tommie starts really, you know, getting emotional, and she starts, you know, crying, basically saying, you know, if I was a drunk, would I be able to take care of my kids? Would I be able to be out here trying to get money? Would I be out here trying to do this, that, and the other? Would I be able to do that if I was drunk? And that basically nobody understands her. That, you know, it is difficult for her, and that sometimes she probably does self-soothe a little bit too much with alcohol. And I think I don't have any judgments about this. I think that Tommie is struggling with something. I really do think that she wants to move to the next level in her life, and she wants to grow. But she does have a lot of things. It's kind of like she has one foot in the door and one foot on the other side of the door. And, you know, she's going to have to start making some serious decisions for her life. So I think that she is moving in the right direction. And I think that if she is struggling as much as everybody seems to think that she is struggling, then I do think that it's okay for them to voice their concerns for her, because I feel like that's what real people who love you, that's what they do, you know. And it's not going to be fun all the time. It's not going to feel good, you know, to have somebody telling you about yourself or telling you what they see from the outside. And you can either choose to take the constructive criticism, or you can just leave it, you know what I mean? But I do think that KK really does care about Tommie, and I think that Tommie does understand that KK cares about her, and the only reason she would say something is because she's concerned. Waka meets with his mama because, you know, Deb is the voice of reason, and she feels that Waka is gonna have to grow up, you know, in order, if he wants to stay with Tammy. I love Deb. I love Deb so much. I think that she basically keeps it honest with Waka and was like, you keep fucking up. Like, you can't keep on doing the same thing to somebody and keep saying you're sorry, and just because you show up at the doorstep looking all cute, that it's going to be straight. So if you really, really want this, then you really need to do what you're supposed to do. And Waka says that, yeah, he agrees. He definitely agrees. But Stevie J and Joseline are leaving court. Stevie J is reflecting on the fact that he feels a little bit bad about maybe filing the motions that he did, and he did it out of anger when they weren't speaking. But now that they've been on good terms, he didn't really tell Joseline that he had done what he had done. So she was kind of blindsided when they went to court. And she feels like instead of him just saying, you know, we're on better terms now, you can go ahead and like dismiss all that stuff. He didn't say anything. He just went ahead and let it keep going. So Joseline, she was in court with her nice little sweatsuit on and her fur, and she basically was telling her lawyer, she was like, oh, I see what Stevie is all about, and I really feel like I want this to be over, and I don't want to co-parent with him. I want to take my daughter down to Miami, and I want to be done with the situation. That was a very short scene. Very, very cute and to the point. So we cut to Jock, and he is performing in some random ATL club. It looked lit. I mean, I think young Jock probably still has a little bit of a buzz around in the Atlanta area. I'm not going to say that he doesn't. You know, I wouldn't know. But the point of this scene, where he's performing, is Tommie and Dom showed up to support him. And Dom wants to know what's up with Tommie and Jock. She feels that it's important for them to define whatever it is that's going on, since she is friends with Carly Red, and that Jock needs to tell Carly Red what the hell is going on. And Jock is like, why the hell is all these women in my bedroom trying to figure out who it is that I'm having sex with? Y'all need to back, mind your business. So he is kind of a little frustrated about it, because he's like, me and Carly Red are not together. Carly knows that her and I are not together, so I don't have to tell her anything. And Tommie agrees to the same thing. Tommie agrees to the same thing. She's like, we don't even talk about her. We don't think about her. We just hanging out like we're really, really good friends. And then Jock brings up the beef between Tommie and Treasure, and Tommie tells her little version of the story. Basically, she said, I tried to make her a fruit salad, and I bumped her up a little bit, and that was it. So, you know, she was basically saying, you know, yeah, I am trying to make changes in my life. However, I'm not a saint, and I'm not going to change overnight. However, I don't think that fighting people is the way to prove that you're trying to change yourself. But I get it. You felt like she was disrespecting you, but that was a comment that you could overlook. Anyway, she moves on, and she decides to invite them to her wine tasting for Le Don, her wine. Yes, that's what it's called. I forgot to mention that a little bit earlier. It's called Le Don. Yes, I'm a check on the spelling of that, but I think it's L-E-D-O-N, Le Don, like the Don. Yeah, the boss, Tommie the boss, Tommie shit. So she wants them to come, and every single person that she's talked to about this so far is going, girl, you probably shouldn't have no wine line. You probably shouldn't have no wine line, girl, because you drink too goddamn much, but we'll be there for you. Yes, God, girl. So that's the end of that scene. So we cut to Sierra, the worst scorned woman I've ever seen in my life, meeting up with Cartoon Network mouth Moriah. And Moriah looks like she pulled that wig off the shelf, or pulled it out from underneath her bed and said, this is good. Took a sweater and said, I'm going to bust it down off the shoulders, and I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to look, and I'm going to make sure to look like a deer in headlights. That girl looked like she ain't got two good thoughts to rub together. And if they didn't tell her what time she was supposed to show up and what she was talking about that particular day, she wouldn't know shit. But anyways, she meets up, and Sierra's saying that Moriah's been blowing her up and that she basically took her time wanting to go meet with her because she needed some time to get her thoughts together. So when she sit down, Sierra says to her, I don't really think you know what the meaning of marriage means, or you don't understand what marriage is. And Moriah goes, I understand what marriage is, but I don't think that he does. Girl, what? This was your friend. This was your fucking friend. And you slept with her husband. And then she goes on to blame it on her. She goes on to blame it on her by saying, you remember that night for your book signing and you told me to pick up told me to take him home or whatever because he was too drunk. When we was in the car, he was feeling on me and rubbing on me and touching on me, and when we got back to the house, it was on and popping. So it was really not my fault. It was his fault, and it was your fault for you allowing me to get in the car with your husband, girl. I mean, you don't see that? And so Sierra cuts her off and was like, girl, I know you lying because you got the body of a 13-year-old boy. And it looked like she was about to throw her purse at her, but that table was too large and they was too far apart from each other, and they all been stuffed up in their clothes. And they was like, Sierra, hit her, throw her purse. And she was like, oh, throw my purse. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my purse real quick. That is the worst angry scene ever. And quickly, Sierra's like, I'm over it. So she picks up her little purse and she leaves Moriah angry by herself. And Moriah again is going off, saying, if you're not gonna pay, if he not gonna pay me, then you gonna pay me. Y'all gonna pay me. Pay you what, girl? What are we gonna pay you? What are we paying you, girl? What are we paying you? And what are we paying you for? Pain and suffering? You gonna open up your night spot? That's what you want the money for? Girl, you better go holler at another one of your side dudes, because you said Shooter was your side dude, but you real upset about this situation. But that's a stupid scene. But anyways, Tammy's tooting around her townhome where Waka's not invited doing laundry, and she decides to poke her head in on Charlie because she want to be nosy about the date that her and Waka had. So she want to pick her brain. And so Charlie starts to tell her that, I miss him and I want you guys to think about getting back together and what would it take for you to take him back. And, Charlie starts giving off ideas and stuff. And Tammy's like, no, sweetie, I'm sorry. I don't think that that's going to be enough. I don't know if he really means what he says or if he's really sorry. And after talking back and forth, she tells Charlie that, she'll consider possibly going out on a date with Waka, but she's not quite sure yet. She's going to need some time with it. So we cut to the next scene, and Joseline and Stevie J, the paternity results are in. The results are in. So we have two different scenes going on. We have Joseline sitting down with her good Judy and Stevie J sitting down with his good Judy. And they're both sitting around. Stevie J, he got a little wine glass ready. Joseline sitting there looking like Jackie O at the table, and she's just like, oh, we're about to get the results. I don't want to open them. Oh. And we come to find out, like we already knew, that Stevie J is the father of that baby. Joseline was not going to slip up and let anybody else be the father of that baby. But she was a little bit worried. And so once she gets the results, she's a little bit upset because she's like, nigga, you done dragged me through the mud for 7 whole months. And now that we have the results, I really don't like your motherfucking ass. She's like, I'm really kind of done with this situation. And she's like, I'm relieved. She said, but now I realize this man gonna be a part of my life, and I don't really think I want him to be a part of my life anymore. So Stevie J, they cut to Stevie, and Stevie's like, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care what Stevie has to say about the whole situation, because he done been down this road several times. Now you about to be $2 million in debt when it comes to child support. Did you catch up yet? Okay. Time for Tommie's event for her wine, LaDon. And we have a full house. We have most of the cast in the building. We got Mimi, Tommie, Rashida, Lil Scrappy, Young Jock, Dime, KK, and Lovely Mimi are all in the building for this event. So we'll start just from the beginning of the event. So everybody is surprised to see Rashida because they haven't really seen her since everybody's been passing her business around like a piece of paper playing telephone. And the messy bitches, Scrappy and Jock, they're like, we really need to know about this. We need to get together ASAP so you can tell us all the business. So you can tell us everything. And she says she's just out for a good time with the girls. She doesn't want the drama. She doesn't want to think about this mess, so she'll get with them a little bit later about it. And so KK comes in, And she goes to Tommie, and she has a surprise for her. It's Scrap De Leon with the split ends. He no longer has a split ends. He cut it last year, but you know, he had that long ass hair with them nasty, disgusting, gnarly ass ends. And he wants to congratulate Tommie on her wine opening. Tommie hasn't spoken or seen Scrap since he went off to jail, so she's very, very excited to talk to him, and very appreciative of that phone call. So they cut to Tommie thanking everybody for showing up for her event and showing support for them. And she was like, I guess I'll do this party, and you know, she said, I guess I'll do this business venture so I can, you know, stop drinking all the wine and make other people feel like she does. And she seems genuinely happy. She really seems genuinely happy. You know, she's kind of tearing up a little bit, and everybody's congratulating her. Also, they do still have their concerns and their reservations because they want her to do well. They don't want her to fall flat on her face when it comes to this whole wine business, from her drinking it too much. So lovely Mimi comes in. She's a little late. She comes to sit at the table, and Mona was like, girl, you have to go in right here, and we gonna tell you why just now. And so she comes in, and everybody's sitting around the table, and Mimi was like, hey, damn girl, I ain't seen you since Joseline's video shoot. Why the fuck she say that, y'all? Why the fuck she say that? Because they was like, you was at Joseline's video shoot? So Dom goes in, and she wants to start caping for Joseline. Because you forget, we're at a table with people who do not fuck with Joseline, except for maybe the guys. Nobody really at that table fools with Joseline. So Dom, you know, starts saying that she really thinks that, you know, Joseline's turned the corner with her being a mother. And Tammy looks over at Lovely Mimi and said, well, did you do her nails? And Lovely Mimi said, no, girl, I did not do her nail. Being all funny. So Dom got upset because I'm one of those type of people too. If I'm trying to be heartfelt and I'm trying to tell you something, but somebody throw a joke out there trying to be funny, I want to slap you too. But anyways, they get into it. Dom feels some sort of way about Tammy because they had a little tiff. Well, not really a tiff, but she said that Tammy got at her on social media saying that grown women shouldn't wear colored hair. Probably not bright pink hair. But, I mean, these days everybody's wearing whatever color hair that they want to wear. So she feels some type of way about that. And Tammy does her regular I'm about to fight you fashion, any drink available. She like, bitch, I'ma throw the drink in your face with the glass. But security was ready and was like, oh no, we're gonna grab your arm like this, we're gonna argue back and forth, and you ain't nothing, you ain't got nothing, you look like nothing, all this other stuff. And you know, Dime is like, bitch, I'll fuck you up, blah 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 blah. The argument, I mean, I don't, maybe we missed something, but it just kind of seemed to escalate out of nowhere. You know, I don't think Tammy was trying to shade Dime. I think that she was just trying to glaze over the Joseline situation, because you know, nobody at the table liked Joseline and they don't want to hear it. They were all invited to the video shoot and they didn't want to go because of that. So they don't want to sit here and listen to somebody like cape for her and try to justify all of her actions to them. Like, they don't want to hear that mess. But I don't really think she was not trying to shade Dime. And so after that, after the situation calms down, Tommie goes at Dime. She was like, you alright? You straight? You good? You good? Now get the fuck out of my house, you punk ass hoe, you punk ass bitch, you punk ass. I was like, okay, ain't this your event? You could have got security to guide her out, but okay. And Tommie's real mad because she feels some sort of way because her and Dime were embarking on a new friendship. And she feels like she's a traitor. Dime is a traitor because she's out here caping for Joseline and going and meeting with Joseline behind her back when she was talking shit about Joseline with her. So she feels a certain type of way. And so I feel like Tommie overreacted in that situation, but hopefully they'll be able to talk about it later. So she throws Dime out and we get back to the party already. And so Tommie comes back and she's apologizing to everybody for the mess, and she feeling like, oh my god, like everything is a mess and blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. And then Mimi says, I'm really sorry, y'all. I did not know what was gonna happen when I brought up Joseline's name. You know, I just thought it was okay because when I was at the video shoot, you know, Melissa was helping Dime and Dawn squash their beef. And Mimi said, say what? The other Mimi, Stevie's Mimi. Say what? And so now she done put her foot in her mouth again. She done ate a double dose of toe knuckles. And she says, oh shit, why the fuck she bring that up? They use Mimi to be the messy one. And so Mimi, there's too many M's. Mimi is basically saying, you know, Melissa is always trying to straddle the fence when it comes to me and Joseline, and she's always, wrong about. She's always looking at the situation wrong. She was like, she knows all the things that Joseline has done to me, and so she didn't appreciate M being there. So we're gonna see how that's gonna play out a little bit later. And Mimi, I think you better watch out for DJ M, because DJ M, as we saw before, can read. So don't get your feelings hurt thinking that somebody's just supposed to be your friend. I'm just saying. But we have to keep the storyline going. So then after that, Tommie gets another surprise. Her mama walks in the door. Hey, everybody! And everybody, Tommie's like, oh, shit. Let's get it. She gonna need all the Ladon that night. And that's the end of this week's episode. Scrappy, your hair is still terrible. It don't look like you and Bambi made up, and I'm sad about that. I am sad about that, because I liked you and Bambi together. Kirk and Rashida, I don't know if y'all need to get a divorce or not, but I'm tired of talking about y'all. I'm ready for y'all to meet up. And Rashida, I just want you to bop both of them in the head. I just want you to cluck their heads together. You know what I mean? And that's really it for this week's episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out my website at ampsthedeuce.com. That is AMPS, the THE, deuce, DEUCE.com. And make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at According to Amps. That's the number 2, According to Amps. And make sure to tell me what you think at the bottom. I want to hear everybody else's thoughts too. Like, I'm really interested to hear. So, catch you next time. Bye.